All right, guys. So this is the Rollmaster timing set. Excuse me. It's a CS3071. You can get them. I got mine at Flowtech Induction, or you can get them on. They even have them on Amazon. You can get them for most. Just do a search for it. I think they're on eBay. Just wherever. They're like the premium timing set, mostly because of the chain. The regular ones tend to stretch pretty quick, and it'll lose correct time. And these chains are supposed to be like the best. Another thing that these have is a Torrington bearing on the back of the cam gear. So when you use that, you have to modify your cam retention plate. You just got to put a countersink on there. These are the screws that came with the timing set, but they got a kind of a small head, and it drops way down in there. I didn't like that, so I had smaller ones, the same length. These are a little too long. It bottoms out beforehand, but that fits a lot better. So what happens is the cam plate has this Torrington bearing rides on it, so it can spin a whole lot easier. It don't have just like that. Oops. The drag, you can see where the other cam gear, just row it on that. Just a little less, one less thing, you know, a little, what do you call it, a parasitic drag. Just getting rid of that. And cam is in. This is a little tool I made out of a nut driver. Just put a piece of ready rod in there, welded it on, and makes it a whole lot easier to slide it in there without banging the bearings up. You see I already got this in. Got the plugs in. That plug in there, you ain't gonna be able to see it, but it's got a hole in it. Squirts oil on the distributor shaft. And I think that's about it that I was going to show you on there. Oh, this pin I had to take about a 1/10 of an inch, about 100 off, so it wouldn't stick out in front of here, because they tend to. Usually get a long pin and a short pin when you order when you get a cam. And then once I got it where I thought it'd be good, little red Loctite, tapped it in, and it's ready to go now. I get the timing set on there. And oh, the other thing, the oil that I use, what I do when I change oil, all the oil cans go up in here and drain into that 5-quart jug. So I just kind of reclaiming it, and then all that I use, that I keep from that, gets put into these, just like the lifters and the timing chain, all that stuff. It's great for that stuff. Plus, I can be environmentally conscious. All right, appreciate y'all. Later. All right, fellas. So this is on. Lifters are in. Spider bolt or spider bracket is tightened down. After every step that I do something, I'll spin the engine over with the crank. Make sure nothing's binding up. I didn't get something bound up it shouldn't be, because this bolt right here, that one goes, I think that's the one, goes right on top of a cam bearing. So if your bolt is too long, it's going to push into the cam bearing. It can bind the cam up. And this is what I was talking about with the chain, like that 347. I had a comp double rollers, like their best one. When I put it on, you can move this back and forth a pretty good amount. This, pretty snug. So, had I known about this before, I probably would have got one of them for it. But it's in there. It's in there and it seems to work. So, this one will be good too. I think it should stay pretty tight. And when you're putting this on, this is what they mean when they say dot to dot, because this has got a 0. It's got keyways for 8 degrees. You can go up to 8 degrees advanced or 8 degrees retarded. See that little, maybe can't see it, a little minus 2 down there, plus I'm wiggling a little bit. So this is your number 1 piston at top dead center. This is going to be directly pointing up at that, so you get your 0 on your crank gear aligned with that, and that is installed. Typically you would you know, get your big wheel out here and check your timing, but you know, I know what cam this is, and I know comp's good at grinding them, so I'm not worried about if it's a degree advanced or degree retarded. It's not going to affect anything on mine. So now next would be to put the timing cover on, get the other dowel that goes in here, and then put the harmonic balancer on. I'll put my dial indicator up here, make sure this is at exact top dead center, and that my timing indicator, that little piece of stamped sheet metal, is right at 0 when this is up here at top dead center. Make sure, because otherwise if it's off, and they can be off a couple degrees or more, it'll screw up your timing. So you try to set your timing, and this is bent or something like that. What you think is 10 might actually be 12 or 8, whatever. So that's the reason behind that. It's just little details. All that stuff adds up. So that's where it's at now. It's kind of late. I've got to get in before the old lady comes out here with a pillow, asks me if I'm going to stay out here tonight. So she's done that before. Gotta love them. 37 years and still going, still nagging at me. All right, appreciate y'all. Later. See, just like that. In there good. Got a little bit of RTV back here, nothing serious. You can just kind of spread that around. You always want to make sure that your spring is in there, because sometimes there won't be a spring in there and it'll leak. It's beyond frustrating. And then when you get this on the engine, put your balancer on, make sure this has got some lube on it, and that the lip don't fold over, that it goes around the balancer good, so that lip stays out. Some kind of a real thin oil on the harmonic balancer so it slides in easy. No prison style stuff here. All right, I'll catch you in the next clip. What's up, fellas? So this is a sleeve that goes on the harmonic balancer to keep it from having leaks. Usually you put these on old harmonic balancers that have a groove worn in it, but I tend to put them on even newer stuff just to keep it from having a leak, and just keep it from because you do get some pressure in the crankcase, excuse me, and this just gets a little tighter seal versus just without nothing on it. Anyway, at the back end it was ballooned out and it wouldn't go into the seal good, so I took it off. I figured this is a pretty new harmonic balancer. I mean, it's not new age-wise, but it doesn't have many miles on it. I had this on the Cobra before. But one thing I always want to point out that I learned from first-hand experience is when you put the harmonic balancer in, I can get this in there to see, but right there you can see that lip. Let me see if I get it here. That lip is rolled in a little bit. So what you got to do, and I don't know if I can do it with one hand, is just kind of give it a wiggle, get that lip to roll out. Oops. Oh, now it's on the bottom. But you just kind of keep checking it. You know, don't put it all the way on until you can get that lip to roll out. So you want it like that. That's how it's supposed to be in there. Otherwise, you end up like the issue I had, where it leaks. You know, I've said before I hate leaks and all that. So, but I did get the front cover on yesterday. Putting this on now. I got all the bolts in a can that go on here with the pointer, and I forgot to do it at work. I was gonna I was gonna bead blast them and wash them, get them cleaned up real good, and then I forgot to do it. So they're still in the back seat of my car. I'm gonna do it tomorrow and get that tightened up this weekend. I did kind of. This was a brand new timing cover from Rock Auto, and I just kind of roughed these up a little bit to make a little smoother transition. The backing plate for the water pump fits on there like so. I think that's the right way, or maybe. Let me get this. It's a quality entertainment you won't get anywhere else. All right, so that'll be, open them up a little bit to match the timing cover, got it, and that, because normally these will have just like a little round hole, so you can use them on whatever timing cover. And this is actually for a Mustang, and that's a truck water pump. And then the standard rotation is, I think I'll actually probably should just do a video, because this is a reverse rotation. It's like that. That's the difference between them. I think the Mustang one comes, they're oriented a different way, but there is two different water pumps for the 5.0s. I mean, there's probably about 15 altogether between all the different ones, but that's the two I use. I think I use the Mustang one for the standard rotation water pump, and then the pickup one for the reverse rotation. That seems to be right, because the Mustang one, they're oriented, they're like turned down 90, and then this one's turned up. Ford's better ideas. I don't know why. They could have saved a lot of money and just had one, but they did this. So that's where it's at right now. The truck is kind of on hold. I just wrapping this up tonight, and then put the cover on it, and then get the red car in here tomorrow night, so I can change the fuel pump and change the soft lines in the back. I got some new fuel on that Earl stuff, because that stuff, you figure, I mean, it's going on 40 years old. That's a 1990, and that's what, 35 now. And like, I replaced all the lines on the Trooper car, and those are, those are solid, almost 40 years old too. So, and they're plastic. So I think it's a good idea, while I've got it there, to replace all that stuff. This is what I used to pull to pull the red car up in front of the garage door. Last night Vince was out here helping me. But that's where it's at. I'll get this loaded up, and you guys can endure having to watch this garbage. It's your choice. All right, see you fellas. Later.